Good morning, brothers and sisters. I'm so happy to see each and every one of you for this morning's morning heart devotion. To begin today, let's start the day with a heartfelt bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. Right, 부모님께 귀여운배 바로. And next we will have our family pledge read by Reverend Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 처녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 처녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 처녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 처녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 처녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 처녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 장부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 처녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 처녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 처녀극 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you so much, Reverend Milhan Stevens, for the family pledge. And for our opening prayer, can we have Reverend Bismarck Bamfo give the opening prayer for today?
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Please join me in prayer. Our precious, beloved Heavenly Parent, we come before you this morning on the second day of May 2023. It's a brand new day, brand new month, brand new era that we are entering. Each day as we reflect upon these things, we feel so grateful and thankful to you for your endurance, your patience in history. And now we can be called, chosen, and blessed to stand in this position, which we are not truly qualified. Our brothers and sisters, most of our leadership have gathered together in Korea at this moment to celebrate the opening of Cheongun, as the Bible has predicted, the dwelling of God is going to be with man and wipe away all the tears from our eyes. This is the time. This is the moment. The true parents, based on their sweat and tears, they want to bring you substantially to live with us here on the earth, and not just only in Tawangul, but each and every one of us should become a temple where your spirit will dwell, where we can put on new glasses of the heart, that we can see each other as your children, sons and daughters. And we are so grateful for the privilege that you give to us, that we were all called to consecrate ourselves, just as Moses was told to consecrate the Israelites before the commandment were given. Likewise, before we build this temple, before the temple is open, we all have to be consecrated. And this grace has now been bestowed upon us. We are taking inventory, going within ourselves to check all the limitations. So with these new glasses that is on, we can see things differently. We can see things from your perspective. We can see each and every one of us as your sons and daughters, just as Jesus saw the prostitute and told the church leaders, those who have not sinned should be the first to cast the stones, because Jesus saw this lady as a daughter of God who has God's spirit. Likewise, our true parents, in his poem, when I judge people, there's no value to my own existence, because all people are your sons and daughters. We've gathered together this morning to be educated, to be guided, to be strengthened, to be encouraged as we tune together, resonate together with our leadership in Korea Center, with our true mother. And whatever is taking place, especially this week, we can all be in oneness, in one accord. And therefore, we will be able to bring your spirit down on the face of this earth. Even right now, we can feel the same vibration. Wherever we go, people want to be with us. They see that something different is taking place. All the old petals are falling apart, and a new life, a new inspiration is emerging all across this nation and around the world. Because for the past over 900 days, Senator Dr. Yong, we've been coming together, reflecting upon our own selves, receiving your truth, digesting the truth. And this has strengthened all of us, our original mind, in showing us, pointing the direction we all need to go to be able to contribute effectively to bring your will into complete fulfillment. We are so grateful this morning. As we've gathered together, we want you to speak to us, speak to our hearts, that together we can create that environment, not just for only a handful of people, but all your children to come together and build your kingdom here on earth. So please guide this meeting and guide our leadership, and guide our true parents, and guide all mankind, that peace will prevail at every level, whether it's in Ukraine, North and South Korea, whether it's in Sudan, wherever we see conflict. This is the time, this is the moment that we can bring the change that is needed. Thank you again. Please guide us from now and forevermore as we report all these things on behalf of our brothers and sisters online and those who will join us later. In my name, Banfus family, blessing to the family, a proper thanks and gratitude. Adieu and amen.
Adieu. Thank you so much, Reverend Bismarck, for the wonderful, wonderful prayer. And it reminds us that we've been doing this for over 900 days. And 1,000 days is coming soon. But that's amazing, to a testament to all of you. Thank you guys so much for attending every morning for Morning Heart Devotion. With that, we're going to go into our breakout rooms to share our appreciation points, a chance to make some new friends or to meet some old friends. And with that, I'll see you guys back here in about 7 minutes. With that, guys, have a good time. you guys had a wonderful time in your breakout rooms, sharing about appreciations and the time you have learned to be grateful for over this past week. With that, I'd like to invite up Miss Susan Pfefferman to share about her appreciation for this week.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I mentioned that everyone has self-doubt. I meet it every day. And I have to remind myself that actually God believes in me, trusts in me, regardless of my ups and downs. And even in 5 minutes, I can have such a vast difference of emotions and confidence. So I'm deeply, deeply grateful that God believes in me and trusts me and keeps nudging me. And I'm grateful for second gen, third gen. Some people have fourth gen because that generation, like Ricky, they are carrying the cross, the blessing, whatever it is that we first gen did when we were young. And it gives me such hope to have young people saying, okay, I'll stand up and go this road because true parents are phenomenal. So I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aunt Susan. Thank you so much for those really kind words too. I'm kind of blushing. Thank you so much. Next, can I have Sandra Cousin from Montreal, Canada, if you'd like to share as well, Miss Sandra Cousin.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Young, brothers and sisters. Yeah, it was such a lovely experience being with Ricky and Susan and Breakout. Yeah, Susan actually is echoing parts of my heart about God's trust in us. I was sharing that my husband and I are on a matching journey with our eldest son. And, you know, it's been a challenge. And he came over on the weekend and we were trying again. And he showed such a heart of perseverance that we spoke late into the night and discussed, possibilities and that. And I was just so grateful for, really felt strongly God guiding his heart, opening his heart once again and trusting. And I felt the trust of God towards my husband and I and trying to support and guide him. And it just reminded me of a breakout I had with Dr. Young where I shared with him. I'm so grateful for the point. This is like what Susan just spoke of, that you shared, that God trusts our original mind and wants to guide us through original mind. And that's pretty much all he had in restoration history, is having to trust our original mind. Otherwise he couldn't do any restoration. And like Susan said, you had to remember that and pray to God and keep loving our heart and allow ourselves to feel that trust, because it can be elusive at times. So yeah, it was a great session, and it's always just wonderful to meet my family every day online. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aunt Sandra. Yeah, heart of perseverance is so big, and I'm sure that'll serve him very well in the future. Unconditional love I'm really seeing from you, Aunt Sandra. Thank you so much for being here with us. All right. And with that, starting off with a great morning, we're going to have our internal guidance by Dr. Yong. He cannot be here today in person, but he did make us a recording for us to watch. So with that, let's prepare our hearts, prepare our minds to receive his message with love. And with that, let's welcome up Dr. Yong once more.
안녕하세요. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, clergy and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? I miss all of you. 보고 싶어요. 진짜 보고 싶어요. I truly miss all of you. Today, I'd like to talk about God's ideal family and the kingdom of the peaceful and ideal world 2 from True Mother's Anthology, Volume 2. Let's study.
God's ideal family and the kingdom of the peaceful ideal world 2. When we are bound together in true love, we can be together forever, continually rejoicing in each other's company. The attraction of true love brings all things in the universe to our feet. Even God will come to dwell with us. Nothing can compare to the value of true love. It has the power to dissipate the barriers created by fallen human beings, including national boundaries and the barriers of race and even religion. The main attributes of God's true love are that it is absolute, unique, unchanging, and eternal. So whoever practices true love will live with God, share his happiness, and enjoy the right to participate as an equal in his work. Therefore, a life lived for the sake of others, a life of true love, is the absolute prerequisite for entering the kingdom of heaven. Ladies and gentlemen, what kind of place is heaven? In brief, heaven is a world of overflowing with God's true love. True love is its access. True love is everywhere, in the outward expression as well as in the inward thought. Everyone's life is filled with true love from beginning to end. The people of heaven are born through true love, live in the embrace of true love, and follow the track of true love all the way to the day they pass on into the next world, the spirit world.
Yes, the main attributes of true love are that it is absolute, unique, unchanging, and eternal. And since the characteristics of true love include the right to participate, the right to inherit, the right of equal position, and the right to live together, we can live forever with God if we possess true love. In this way, a life lived for the sake of others, a life of true love is the absolute prerequisite for entering the kingdom of heaven. However, true love cannot be experienced without the pair system of the subject and object partner. Therefore, the world of true love is a world that cannot be experienced without becoming a couple. Incredible. In brief, heaven is a world overflowing with God's true love. True love is its axis. True love is everywhere in the outward expression as well as in the inward thought. Everyone's life is filled with true love, from the beginning to end. Therefore, we must know that bearing true love is our final goal and God's desire. Becoming true love, true children, becoming true love children, true love brothers and sisters, true love couples, and true love parents is the wish of heaven and earth, and is also the dream that we human beings hope for. And living divine principle, human history of the providence of restoration 3, trends in the history of conflict. Let's study EDP.
Trends in the history of conflict. Third, examining trends in the history of conflict. Battles over people, territory, and property have continued without interruption, expanding their scope in step with the progress of human society. The scale of these struggles has broadened from the family level to the levels of tribe, society, nation, and world until today, when the democratic world and the communist world confront each other in a final conflict. This final war will be primarily a war of ideologies. Hence, the new truth which can reconcile religion and science, will emerge and bring about the unification of the communist and democratic worlds.
Let's just study further.
The reason why the history of conflict continues. People who go against God's will have lived affluent lives, while people who have upheld God's will have lived in poverty. Such phenomena have occurred throughout the history of human conflict, which has continued until today. That's because human beings lost their heart towards God. Therefore, we must go through such a process to restore the position which God can trust us again. In order to do that, we have to be strong enough to overcome all the trials which God has endured for 6,000 years. We must go forward undaunted by the threat of death and stand with determination as representatives of God.
Yes. What do you think is the reason people who go against God's will have lived on affluent lives, while people who have upheld God's will have lived in poverty? What's wrong with that? That's because human beings lost their heart towards God. Therefore, we must go through such a process to restore the position in which God can trust us again. Indemnity. Indemnity is going through the path opposite to what was lost. However, there are many people who do not know that what the indemnity cost they have to go through. And they easily blame God and curse their ancestors and lament their fate. Therefore, in order to restore the true indemnity, everything about my ancestors who make mistakes in the past, I have to become myself who can overcome whatever hardships come my way. This is important. That's why without understanding the way of indemnity, for no reason why my family is like that. Why some family so much rich? Why I need to go through this kind of hardship? You need to understand the cause of the indemnity. Our divine principle very clearly explain the way of the indemnity, right? This is one of the incredible discovery about the indemnity. Due to the fall of man, the position of the subject and object, that is the position of the body and mind, have changed. Subject become object, object becomes subject. Good and evil, original mind and selfish mind have come into being and have been in a constant battle between good and evil. Internally, this struggle continues to restore God's heart because of the fall. It arises because man's original mind wants to return to God, and Satan is trying to stop this. In this battle, in this battle between good and evil, good people have been sacrificed. Through their sacrifices, the word of the goodness has gradually expanded. To stop the history of the struggle, you must first take control of your body. The unification of my body and mind, husband and wife, and siblings must be achieved first. That's why, to unify the world, Father said, you need to challenge to overcome your physical body's limitation. You need to unite, make the unity between mind and body. Secondly, you need to make the unity between husband and wife. This is the beginning point, right? And next content.
History until now has been the course to be possessed by one master. Created beings, including ourselves, lost their master. Due to the fall, human beings couldn't be absolutely possessed by God and couldn't absolutely possess creation and this world either. It means that until today, even God, who is the absolute being, can't claim that the creation is his own, nor can he confidently dominate them. Therefore, the course of history until now has been the course to become possessed by one master. We must keep in mind that the history of conflict has continued throughout the ages until this time to fulfill this purpose. If we admit that created beings exist, we must admit that one master or the absolute being who created them exists as well. Unless an absolute safe point is settled without anybody's claim in God's dominion, this world can't escape from the history of conflict.
Yes. Due to the fall, human being couldn't be absolutely possessed by God and couldn't absolutely possess creation and this world either. Humans, all things, and the other world are owned by Satan. That's why the Bible says that Satan is the ruler of this world. Therefore, the course of history until now has been the course to become possessed by one master. There were untold sacrifice as this ownership battle continued to come down one after another between God and Satan. We must keep in mind that the history of the conflict has continued throughout the ages until this time to fulfill this purpose. In such a position, we must reflect, do we really have ownership over God? Is God really our master? And are we the master who owns all things? Because of the fall, mankind lost everything, including their parents, children, brothers and sisters, and husband and wife also lost God individually. They have lost their body, mind, and lost their heart. To restore this, we must keep tithes in every aspect as a condition of owning all things, witness as a condition of the possessing humans, and restore our heart as a condition of the possessing God. Very clear explanation. Today's youth ministry, if you don't get along artistically, you become what? You become what? Strangers. If you don't get along artistically with your wife will become strangers. If you do not get along artistically with your children become your strangers. Yeah, this is a really incredible also title we need to think about. We need to listen what he is talking about. Let's start.
Have the eyes, ears, and mouth of your heart. We must be careful with our eyes, mouth, and ears in our daily life. Our eyes should be the eyes of the heart. Our ears should listen with the heart, and our mouth should speak the words of the heart. The eyes of the heart do not see externally and physically, but rather see the inside. For example, when you look at a person, you have to think of the parents who worked hard behind the scenes to raise that person until that person grew old. And we must think about how hard our ancestors and God worked until we selected that one person and connected him to heaven's providence. So it's important to consider the history and hard work of that person's ancestors. Since we are all descendants of Adam and Eve, from the viewpoint of the Creator, we are all descendants of one lineage. Therefore, all people are related to me through lineage. They are not strangers.
Yeah. We must learn how to see people like true parents. True parents look at the person's past, focusing on the background of their ancestors. And they see how much responsibility they are taking in the position and they are currently in. Next, they see what position he will stand in the future. Fallen humans make many mistakes because they do not look at the person's past, the present, and future, and make judgment based on their present and external appearance and preconceived notions. This is the problem. So we must be careful with our eyes, mouths, and ears in our daily life. Our eyes should be the eyes of the heart. Our ears should listen with the heart, and our mouth should speak the word of the heart. The eyes of the heart do not see externally and physically, but rather see the inside. Always you need to compare animal. Animal want to see that person's about the past, and that person's future. Animal cannot do that. Human being, to see someone, we need to resemble Father. Need to see that person's background. What kind of a connection to, his or her ancestors. That's incredible. When he, arranging of the matching and blessing, each one of their ancestor background. It is really incredible and beautiful. That's why Father's matching is really, we don't know. We cannot express how he really, matching. He knows that anyone's background, just he want to see, then he can see. To judge a person well, you have to think of the parents who worked hard behind the scenes to raise that person until that person grew old. And we must think about how hard our ancestor and God worked until we selected that one person and connected him to heaven's providence. Since we are all descendants of Adam and Eve, from the viewpoint of the Creator, we are all descendants of the one lineage. Therefore, all people are related to me through lineage. They are not strangers originally, right? We are all of them, does not matter. You are yellow and black and white people, right? We originally come from God. If you think that we come from God, we are same children of God originally, right? Of course, on the way because of the fall. Originally, we come from God's lineage, come from God. Then you and me, what's the relationship between you and me? We are brothers. We are sisters, right? They are not strangers. When you think about this point, then you can embrace any black people, any white people, any yellow people. This kind of mindset is very important. That's why Father's discovery is amazing. God is the parents. Each one of the human being is a children. Does not care about the color. Does not care about the boundaries. We need to think that truly you believe God is the parents of human being. Truly believe you and me, we are children of God. You just really accept and digest this concept. Accept this reality. You don't have any enemy. You can embrace any other one. That's why incredible. One God, one family, right? We are same brothers and sisters. If we truly believe in that, then we need to practice. If we do not understand this point, God is the parent of all mankind. If we do not understand, we are children of God, you cannot practice. Still discriminate people, distinguish this and that. Then that's the problem. Then you do not know divine principle, even though understand divine principle only by your head, not from your heart. Right? Next.
If you don't get along artistically, you become strangers. When we become one with each other in our hearts, we will all long for each other. When people become one in heart, everyone feels precious. Animals feel happy when they bond with humans. Don't they feel like family? So we must be kind to each other. If you don't get along artistically, you will become a stranger. If you don't get along with each other in your family, you're a stranger. That's why I have to think of all people I deal with as objects of love and try to be affectionate. There is no target that we call our enemy. Even if it is difficult to become one with a certain object, you must overcome it with love. The Creator created man and all things to make our hearts happy. And God created us to feel happy when He sees us happy. Therefore, When we look at all things and when we look at people, we must look at them with our hearts.
Yes, we humans are all descendants of our fallen ancestor, but we must understand that we all come from one lineage centered on God originally, and think of each other as brothers and sisters. So when we become one with each other in heart, we all become people we long for. Truly feel that you are my brother. We truly feel that you are my sister. If we truly feel like that, then what kind of phenomena appear? If you accept that guy is my brother, that guy is my sister, if we accept that reality, automatically we long for each other. When people become one in heart, everyone feels so precious. So we must be kind to each other. If you don't get along artistically, you will become a stranger. In the satanic world, the world of heart is all self-centered. So what we need to know clearly is that if we are not affectionate with each other in our family, we are strangers. You are living together with your strangers because you don't care each other as in the family, right? You don't have a heartist relationship with your wife, then your wife is strangers. You don't have a heartist relationship with your husband, and then you are strangers. Even though you delivered your baby, your children, but don't have a heartist relationship, your children are strangers. That's why we have to think of all the people we deal with as objects of love and try to affectionate. Faith is to eventually born and have an inseparable artistic relationship. From that perspective, there is no target that we call our enemy. Even if it is difficult to become one with a certain object, you must overcome it with love. This is because we are brothers and sisters centered on God and sharing blood. If we think of all people as brothers and sisters under one God, our heart is already ready to accept anyone. The attitude of the heart is so important. According to the attitude of our heart, they become stimulated, right? Really, if I do not join Unification Church, what kind of person I become? Because of true parents' guidance, because of divine principle. I truly confess that when I travel in America, every state here and there, when I see each one of our members, I feel that, wow, they are so precious to me. And true heart always talk to me, okay, spiritually. Please, you need to embrace each one of them. They are my children. I am now in spiritual world, I cannot do. Your mother, true mother in Korea, she cannot do that. Why I send you to America? On behalf of me, on behalf of true parents, please, please, please love each one of American members. Embrace them. Take care of them. They are so precious to me. This kind of guidance always true Father give me. That's why I feel that really, I really want to have time. I want to spend time with each one of our American brothers and sisters. I really want to hug them and kiss them and hand in hand together and talk together. I have this kind of a mindset, my brothers and sisters. That's why our true parents' guidance is really, really amazing, right? Yeah. So according to attitude of our heart, they become very stimulated. Then you can feel that each one of them are so important, so precious. I talk to Mr. So or somebody. When every day I go out to the Hudson Riverside to do 1 hour exercise. When I look at each one of them, I feel that each one of them like our member. Anyone see any boy and girls and grandparents, kind of the old guy? I feel that they are like our members. Each one of them are so precious. When you feel each one of them are so precious, you don't have the, how to say, preconception. No preconception, because you feel everybody precious, no any conception. Because just you can love each one of them are children of God. Next.
Between the body and the mind, which should be saved? What does true parents mean by denying yourself? And what does it mean in the Bible that he who wants to die will live? This means that if we do not use our mind centered on our physical body, our mind will live. Which should I save, the body or the mind? Should I save the body and kill the mind? Or should we kill the body and save the mind? So to make it a little easier to understand, since the body will die anyway, we should think that our body is dead. We should live our lives only with the heart. So when we eat, we must think that we are eating for the mind, not for the body. We should not eat because our body is hungry, but we should eat to make our heart happy. Aren't we eating to be happy? And we do not eat rice to save our sad and painful bodies. What we need is to be healthy. This is the health I need because it is the health of my mind. It is not health because of the body.
Yes. What does true parents mean by denying yourself? And what does it mean in the Bible that he who wants to die will live? This means that we must completely abandon the mind entered on the physical body. It means that if we do not use our mind centered on the physical body, our mind surely will come to life. That's why you prepare to die, you can live. That means you completely abandon your body, deny your physical body, your physical mind. And then finally what? You can live. Father explained that way. That's why the Bible says, he who wants to die will live. It means that if I abandon my physical mind, I will surely live. Conversely, if I save my body, my soul will surely die. Which should I save, the body or the mind? Should I save the body and then abandon mind? Or should we abandon body and save the mind? So to make a little easier to understand, since the body will die anyway, we should think that our body is dead. So when we eat, we must think that we are eating for the mind, not for the body. We should not eat because our body is hungry, but we should eat to make our heart happy. So Father said that if you deny yourself in the physical body, everyone will taste the miracle. If you completely deny, about your own self and ignore your physical mind, and then you clearly have the mindset, okay, centering on about the spiritual body, centering on spirit, everybody can everybody can experience of the miracle. If you really deny yourself completely, you will receive unimaginable spiritual strength and energy from God. The reason why we cannot feel God and have a spiritual power is because there we limit how much we deny ourselves. Therefore, if you deny yourself, you are bound to receive strength from the spiritual world. Wow. Even though we say denial, self-denial, but why we cannot get strength? There is a limitation. You try to deny yourself, but not yet completely deny. If you They deny. And your body belong to God, and your mind belong to God, your heart belong to God. Absolutely 100% like that. Father said, you are bound to receive incredible strength and power from the spiritual world. Okay, the final slide.
It's goodness when you value others more than yourself. Our bodies must be shed after a certain period of time. Therefore, we must not forget that we are always people of the heart. Therefore, it is our heart that we live with these attitudes. Let's live with the heart. Let's live with love. Let's live with attendance. Let's live by faith. Our body keeps distrusting, trying to assert itself, and trying only for itself. Since all fallen human blood contains the blood of Satan, they only think about themselves. What is evil? Only thinking about yourself is evil. What is the goodness? It is goodness to value relationships. Husbands value their wives more than themselves. Wives value their husbands more than themselves. Parents value their children more, and children value their parents more. Goodness is to value others more than yourself. Therefore, relationships are more valuable than me. Doesn't death and suffering come when a relationship is broken?
Yes. Our bodies must be shed after a certain period of time, right? Therefore, we must not forget that we are always people of the heart. Therefore, we must not live according to the physical body. No matter what we eat, no matter what we drink, no matter what we wear, no matter what we think, and no matter what we do, we must not think of the physical body, physical mind. Therefore, it is our heart that we live with these attitudes. Let's live with the heart. Let's live with the love. Let's live with the attendance. Let's live by faith. Our body keeps trusting and trying to assert itself and trying only for itself. Since all human being blood contains the blood of Satan, they only think about themselves. What is evil? Only thinking about yourself is evil. What's the goodness? Very important here. What's the goodness? It is goodness when you value relationships. Husbands value their wives more than themselves. Wives value their husbands more than themselves. Parents value their children more, and children value their parents more. This is goodness. Goodness is to value others more than yourself. Therefore, relationships are more valuable than me. Doesn't death and suffering come when a relationship is broken? In this way, we must keep in mind that the truth of the universe was created to live thoroughly for the sake of others. Therefore, according to the truth of this universe, we must live a life wholly for the sake of others. Today, I'm talking about, its goodness when you value others more than yourself. Very, very beautiful guidance. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Young, for the wonderful guidance for today. With that, we'll have our testimony for today. Our testimony giver is Preston Grodner, who is serving in Zambia as a GPA CIG missionary. He's going to share about his testimony of his experience over there. So please welcome up Preston Grodner.
Good morning, Dr. Young. Good morning, family. Yes, I will be sharing a testimony today. My name is Preston Grodner. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a third-year participant on GPA, but this is my second year as a Chanoguk missionary. Last year I served in Albania, and this year I'm serving in Zambia. And actually, we're just about at the end of our mission now here in Zambia. But I just wanted to share a short testimony about my experience here, specifically with deepening my understanding and relationship with divine principle. So before coming to Zambia, whenever I would read or lecture divine principle, I would always see it as something more very plain, as in it's simply like a textbook or a doctrine, a way of looking at the world. But it wasn't until I met my now spiritual son, Evaristo, that I came to realize the depth of divine principle. Eva was one of the first people I met here in Zambia, and actually, at first it was extremely difficult for me to love and invest into him. He isn't educated so well, so he didn't know so much English. So it was challenging to connect intellectually and have him understand the contents. But even so, Eva, he came to the center every single day to hear more and more divine principle. So for me, this was a little confusing. It stumped me a little bit because it seemed like he wasn't really understanding what was being explained to him. So one day I sat him down and I just talked to him and asked him why he keeps coming back. And then he opened up to me in his life and he shared his whole situation. So actually his background is his father passed away when he was very young. So he had to leave school early and take a lot of responsibility for kind of financially supporting his family. And he explained how his life is very difficult and it made him do like bad things. But ever since he came here, he started to change. He testified to how the divine principle is making him a better person, and his family has noticed too. So yeah, as he was sharing this, I really had to try hard to hold back my tears because I felt bad for judging him, his intellectual capacity, and also so grateful for like his sincere heart to share with me. But I think it was really that moment that helped me realize that the divine principle isn't just a textbook, but the essence of divine principle is heart. And teaching divine principle isn't like teaching any other school subject, but teaching divine principle is an act of love. And Eva felt that love and couldn't help but be attracted to it. So, yes. After 6 months of constant study and workshops, Eva has excelled in his understanding and practice of principle. The intellectual boundary in the beginning has gone away. His English improved a lot, and his passion for sharing God's word has gotten a lot stronger. So yeah, he's progressed a lot in his life of faith and is now actually even giving his own divine principle lectures. He's inheriting some of our traditions and even bringing his own guests to study divine principle too. So he's on his way to becoming a full-time member and even hopefully preparing to receive the blessing next year. So yeah, it's a very precious experience. I'm really grateful. Actually, not only with my spiritual son Evaristo, but actually many other experiences during this mission. God was helping me to feel the true meaning and power of divine principle. It's one of my biggest takeaways from this mission time. So, yeah. So that's about it for my testimony. Overall, what's in my heart now is nothing but gratitude for such a life-changing and precious experience. And yeah, I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to share it with you guys. So thank you for listening. There's a lot more to share, but that's it for now. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Preston, for sharing about your experiences in Zambia. The teaching principle is an act of love. I really felt that. All right. So with that, everyone here, let's go into our book rooms to reflect as a group what we may have learned or gained or experienced during our time here, listening to the talks and or the testimonies. And with that, I'll see you guys when we all come back together in about 7 minutes. You guys have yourselves a wonderful time. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry it took a little while. My Zoom was a little acting up a bit, but I had a wonderful time with my breakout rooms. Again, they're just too short, but I love to introduce some of these wonderful aunts and uncles to share about the reflections. Can I have Miss Libby Jo Hankin, if you'd like to come up and share what you've gained from this from today's talk?
Good morning. Thank you. Yes, my takeaway this morning was when we first hear divine principle, we're taught that God created all of us and we're all brothers and sisters. We're all one family of man. So that's just a truth that I've always, talked about to people. But when Dr. Yong said this morning that we all come from God and we're all brothers and sisters, it just really hit me deep down more profoundly. And I felt it. And I thought, this is something that, I've always believed, but it was kind of superficial before. I didn't realize it was superficial. But I think because Dr. Yong has really digested this and really feels it, he can convey it to us more deeply. So that was my takeaway. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aunt Libby. Yeah, it takes a while for me to practice that as well, to remember that. Thank you so much. Next, can I have Uncle Peter and Aunt Monica Lewis also share about their own testimonies, or their own takeaways from today's talk?
Yes, hi. So, I shared my main takeaway, similar to Libby's, just how important it is to not judge based on appearance, and actually I didn't share this in the breakout with you, Ricky and Libby, but I think, I had a kind of, I guess, a long time before I joined the movement, when I was maybe 20 or so, something like that. And I feel I had a little God experience. I was certainly not thinking about joining a movement like this, or I grew up in UK, and at the time there's a lot of discrimination against people from India, Pakistan. And I just, one time I think it was at a gas station. It's a long time ago now, but as far as my memory serves me, I was at a gas station, and I saw this a Pakistani man, and young man, I think, and I was looking at him, and I just suddenly had this very strong kind of sense of sorrow, and because of what was going on with this discrimination, and it was just an interesting moment, I feel it was a kind of a God moment, God's feeling something through me in that moment, and I guess this was sort of a little experience that was preparing me to finally meet this movement, which is all about seeing people from God's point of view, and seeing everyone as God's children, just as we are ourselves a child of God, so is everyone else, no matter what they look like. And I know I've been guilty of making judgments about people based on appearance, and I've had to repent when I find out, things about this person that make me feel, oh my gosh, just like this young man, Preston, felt so sorry but repentful when he found out about this person's background. So it's just serves as a lesson of how important it is to get to know people, right? To go beyond the surface, and that changes everything in terms of your perception. So thank you.
All right, my takeaway were 2 points stuck out. Like, one was we should eat to make our heart happy. I usually eat to satisfy my physical desires and satisfy my cravings. But when you think of the heart, you think of spirit. So really that the spirit dwells in the body, right? So that's a beautiful spin to it, like to keep that dimension, keep that awareness. So then also we are able to, I guess, with that in mind, to have a little bit more energy or power to control our physical desires as well. And the other point is that goodness is not cannot be measured in isolation. That's my big takeaway too. that basically we need to value relationships, right? So it's not just what I do, what offering I bring, or how great I can be defined as an individual to be a child of God, but it's only in relational context that goodness can be measured. So that means my spouse needs to basically value, right, my existence, and all other relationships need to be valued. My coworkers, they should naturally be moved by me, in a sense, if I'm a person of goodness, and there's lots of work to be done. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Peter and Aunt Monica. It's been so nice to meet you guys in the breakout rooms. Like I said, they're too short to get to know people properly, so I'm really appreciative of what you're able to share. Yeah, we really can't judge books by our covers. But yeah, thank you so much. It's just been a joy getting to know everyone here. With that, I just have some little reminders to state. One is to invite someone to join Morning Heart Devotion, especially if you feel like they can gain something from it. They can only really receive lots of love from Dr. Yong and you guys as well. Also, the transcripts and links to the images are available on edu.familyfed.org, courtesy of Dr. Keeley. And the third thing is to joyfully give from your heart. Also, if you want to give an offering prayer, or if you want to give a musical offering, you're welcome just to email Talzor. She should be getting the link into the chat. Also, a special announcement. The Peace Summit 2023 is inviting two-way participants. The opening ceremony is starting tonight. It takes place tonight at 8:30 Eastern. And the Think Tank Forum will be on May 3rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. So to register for the two-way, please look at the links in the chat and you can join those two ways. Now, I am excited to hear about the musical offering, and I'm excited to welcome up Kemi Hirose to share with us her wonderful, wonderful music.
Okay, good morning, everyone. The song I'm singing will be the title called Cherry Blossom. My background, that cherry blossom came from my high school friend in Japan. So cherry blossom, the season in Hokkaido right now. So this cherry blossom means us from Japan is like a very special, like a time for departure and time for new beginning and a new life. So it's a Japanese song sung by Naotaro Moriyama, and this song I'll sing for Pastor Takino. He's not here right now, but I'll sing for Pastor Takino. The song goes like this. 僕らはきっと待ってる。君とまた会える日々を。桜並木の道の上で手を振り叫ぶよ。どんなに苦しい時も君は笑っているから口消そうになりかけても頑張れる気がしたよ。霞みゆく景色の中にあの日の歌が聞こえる。桜、桜、今咲き誇る切なに散りゆく定めとしてさらば友よ旅立ちの時変わらないその想いを今 今なら言えるだろうか、偽りのない言葉。輝ける君の未来を願う本当の言葉。移りゆく街はまるで僕らをせかすように。桜、桜、ただ舞い落ちる。いつか生まれ変わる。時を信じ、泣くな友よ今、惜別の時期。飾らないあの笑顔でさあ、桜、桜、いざ舞い上がれ、永遠にさんざめく光を浴びて、さらば友よまたこの場所で桜舞い散る道の上で。Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akemi-san. That was so wonderful. My mom is Japanese as well, so I feel a lot of maternal love coming from your voice. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful way to end the day. All right, with that, we are going to have our closing prayer given by Nasan Benson. Nasan Benson, if you could unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning, brothers and sisters. Please join me in prayer. Our most precious Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for this morning, for allowing us all to be here together as a family with you, Heavenly Parent and true parents. Thank you for Dr. Young's internal guidance. And I just hope that, Heavenly Father, you can be with us throughout our day today in hopes that we can experience true love through attending you, Heavenly Parent, and through the beautiful words and heart from true parents that we've learned up until now, Heavenly Parent. We just hope to study your word and study your heart, true parents and true Heavenly Parent, more artistically, so that we don't become strangers of you, Heavenly Parent, so that we can be able to spread our love and spread what we have learned and gained and from true parents. Heavenly Parent, I hope that you can just allow us to feel our sons and daughters of your will. And we just thank you for the amazing foundation that's been set here for us. As we know, you suffered for thousands and thousands of years just to be able to have your children comfort your heart. And now that you'll finally have a dwelling place here on earth this coming May, I just hope that we can be able to do that. We can be able to comfort your heart, Heavenly Parent, and be able to look deep inside ourselves to find you and allow you to rest here with us, Heavenly Parent. So just throughout today, I hope that we can be able to keep your heart in mind and just practice true love, whether we're receiving it or giving it, Heavenly Parent. I hope that we can really express your heart and what true parents have done for us. So I thank you so much, Heavenly Parent, and I thank you, true parents, so much. And I want to offer all this in the name of Cosmic True Parents, Heavenly True Parents, you.
Ju, thank you so much, Nasan, for giving our closing prayer. Such a wonderful person. Love you, Nasan. With that, everybody here, that's the end for morning devotion for today. But I can't wait to see all of you guys again, singing with you, learning with you, and being with you as a family tomorrow morning. With that, please be safe and know that God loves you and trusts you. Guys, have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye.